Boom! Bitcoin just bounced off my support level, and that trade's worked out really well for me. Find out which trade I'm looking to take next in Bitcoin within this video. Roll the intro. Hello and welcome to the Pine Street Capital YouTube channel, where we talk all things trading and investing. My name is Ron and I'm the managing partner of Pine Street Capital. I've been trading for over 7 years, and today I'm here to bring you some market analysis, which is brought to you by the World Series of Trading, the only place where you can make real money trading virtual funds. Now, before we get into this market analysis, I need to remind you that none of these videos constitute as financial advice or advice of any kind to take a position in any financial instrument. So let's get into it. Today is the 17th of March 2022, and welcome to this market analysis specifically on Bitcoin. Now, if you remember my previous analysis video, I mentioned the fact that I'd be taking a long position on Bitcoin off a certain support level. Fortunately for me, that trade has worked out very well, and it's paid me very well within the Crypto All the Time tournament. But unfortunately, the time has come whereby I have to unwind that trade. Now, I'm unwinding that trade because of the fact that it's almost hit the level whereby I projected Bitcoin to go, right? Now, if you understand Bitcoin within the current trading environment, whereby you've got the whole Russia-Ukraine situation going on, and you've got central bank action this week, then you'll understand that Bitcoin is a risk asset, right? So risk assets are essentially assets such as Bitcoin, stocks, property, and things like that, right? Things that investors buy in order to take advantage of positive shifts in economic sentiment, right? And that's what Bitcoin is at the moment. Bitcoin is highly correlated to the stock market, which is why you see that when the stock market crashes, Bitcoin crashes as well. And when the stock market rises, Bitcoin rises as well. And right now is no exception, right? Over the past couple of days, within the beginning of the week, you've seen the equity markets rise. And as a result of equity markets rising, Bitcoin as a risk asset, which is correlated to equity markets, has also risen, okay? So now I'm going to go into the charts to show you exactly what's gone on within the equity markets. And then we're going to move on to Bitcoin and exactly what actions we're expecting to take within this current trading environment. So I'm just going to share my screen right here. I hope you can see my screen now. All right, there we go. So that's the chart of Bitcoin, but we're not going to start with Bitcoin. We're going to start with the S&P 500. So with the S&P 500, what happened last night is, as expected, the Federal Reserve increased interest rates by 25 basis points. And that caused a knee-jerk reaction of markets moving down. However, we proceeded to moving even higher. So that's that downward movement. And then we proceeded to go higher. And now we're at the top of the range, whereby you can expect the highest risk reward move being to the downside, right? And that's exactly what we're seeing on equity markets. However, path of least resistance, as you can see from the trend, is to the upside, okay? But we actually got news out of the whole Russian-Ukraine situation this morning that President Putin said that the positive shifts, the reports of positive shifts in these talks with Ukraine were actually wrong, right? And that immediately caused equity markets to fall. That's this last candle over here, but we're somewhat retracing that movement that we saw earlier on. And we've also started to see oil prices rise as a result of it, right? So back to the equity markets. Equity markets, what am I expecting at the moment? At the moment, we've got a major level of resistance right around the 4385 level on the S&P 500. You can actually call it 4400, okay? So over here, the most likely move is we either bumble along sideways, or the best risk reward would be taking this to the downside. However, you take it down to the downside once you've actually got a setup. So right now, at this point in time, I'm waiting for a setup to present itself for us to fall lower within the equity markets, right? So that's your equity market picture. And we've also got the ECB today. I expect to be almost a non-event for equity markets because the most important central bank for equity markets is the Federal Reserve. As for the ECB, if you're trading the euro or if you're trading the DAX, then it will be a lot more important to you. But let's move on to Bitcoin, okay? So this is the picture we're seeing in Bitcoin. If you remember on Monday, I mentioned the fact that I'd be looking to buy Bitcoin off this level. And that's exactly what we got. So we got somewhat of a retracement, and I took advantage of this opportunity to get long. And right now I'm looking to unwind the position, right? That's within the crypto all the time tournament, right? So as I'm looking to unwind this position, why am I looking to unwind this position? The higher the market goes, the higher the probability that it will reverse, right? When you're within a sideways range. And that's what I believe we're in right now. And I believe we're in a sideways range because of the fact that, you know, the market hasn't really been going anywhere. Now, there's a higher side to the sideways range and there's a lower side. So over here, this is a minor level of support. That's a minor level of resistance. We're about to reach a minor level of resistance. So do we touch this level? Probably. But here's the thing. From this moment on up to the point where we get here, I'm looking to scale into a short position, not just in Bitcoin, but in other cryptos. And that's secret to the tournaments if you didn't already know, right? If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, forget about it, right? So what we're expecting right now is we're expecting the markets to reach this level over here, right? And for me, this would be the optimal place to be taking a short position. However, taking a short position over here and banking on the markets actually hitting this level is not exactly the best thing to do, which is why I prefer to build up a position over time. So I'm looking to build up a position, a short position, taking it down over here. Heck, maybe even lower if we start to get more negative news flow out of the whole Russian-Ukraine situation. But where do I admit that I'm wrong? Right around this area. Within this area, that's where I'm willing to admit that I was wrong on the entire trade. However, I think there's a very low likelihood that we actually get this high unless if President Putin then completely flip-flops on his previous statement. So that's what I'm seeing in Bitcoin. In Bitcoin, I am seeing the market probably move higher. Once we get to 4,200, boom, we go lower, right? And we continue trading within the sideways range. That's the action that I'm looking to take advantage of within the crypto all the time tournament. However, I'm actively managing my positions, right? So this is the kind of strategy that you need to put in place in order to take advantage of these price movements and global macroeconomic developments. Particularly in this situation, you've got Russia and Ukraine, you've got the headlines coming out all the time, and you essentially, sometimes you have to end up repositioning yourself. Sometimes you have to admit that you were wrong, right? Because if President Putin comes out and says he's doing a peacemaking deal with Ukraine today, right, that completely changes the thesis for my trade. And once the thesis for my trade is invalidated, there's no point in me staying in it, right? So that's your analysis of Bitcoin for the 17th of March, 2022. I'll see you within the crypto all the time tournament.
Now, if you like this video, please smash the like button below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content just like it. And if you'd like to learn how we approach the markets, you can do so by joining the Professional Trading Masterclass course using the link in the description. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one.